Hey everybody, it's Zip Mouth. It's Tuesday, so y'all know I'm here, and y'all know what I'm here to do already. Y'all should know as many times I've done these lives on Tuesdays. I always have like great people on here interviewing, or just me rambling, whichever one y'all want to do. Because I'm just like it's whatever at this point. So today, though, I have a very special guest. Her name is Lakeisha Day, and I want y'all to be so gentle with her because she is just a really sweet person. Um, and she's been through a lot. And she's gonna tell her story because can't nobody tell your story like you can tell your story. So I'm not gonna be the one to just tell her story all outright. I want her to tell you all what happened then and what's going on now. So I'm gonna bring her up. Again, Lakeisha Day is her name, but she definitely gonna introduce herself again when she comes. All right. Hey, Miss Lady.
Hey,
So we are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. Tell the people who you are, where you from. Tell them a little
my,
bit about you.
hi. My name is Lakeisha Day. I'm from Oxford, North Carolina. I'm a single parent. I have two kids, a boy and a girl. Um, and I was in a tragic accident 6.5 years ago. That's why I'm here today.
Okay. Well, I'm about to actually do that. I watched the video, and actually, when we get done with the live, I'm going to post the 700. I didn't want them to see the video before they saw you.
Okay.
So I'm actually going to post the video after we get done. But tell them a little bit about the accident, and I'm going to mute my thing so it don't make that static noise.
Well, I had an accident in 2016, 6.5 years ago. It was life altering. It was tragic. So, I had to adjust my whole entire life around this accident. And I'm here today. As you can tell, it looks like I've never been in any type of accident. I have to give all the glory to God first and foremost. I thank Him. It it can get emotional at times, but I think I'm kind of over that phase. Not really over it, but I learned to cope with it.
Right.
But yeah, I went under a transfer truck. I'm gonna give you a little backdrop. I went under a transfer truck. I broke my neck on down, brain damage, pelvic bone, jaw bones, ribs, spleen, the whole 9 yards. They told my parents I wouldn't make it past the first couple of hours. My brain was swelling and bleeding, so they lost all hope. But my parents didn't. They called everybody, and everybody got together and prayed, the prayer warriors, and I just thank God for my family and friends that prayed and just kept me lifted up
Right.
all through my journey, and the ones that still doing it today, because I'm not, I know I look like it, that I'm like then reach where I'm trying to go, but I haven't. I'm halfway there, but it's a journey, so that means for a lifetime.
So during this time, like you had the accident, and then were you in a vegetative state? Like you could not move, you could not do nothing. They had counted you out, like they said it was over, like she's not going to live.
Yes, they did. They counted me out the first few hours. They said that I was not gonna make it. Mm-mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I know you said you had bleeding on the brain, your spine, everything was kind of like all crushed. Was there somebody else in the accident with you?
It was my daughter. She was 2 at the time. She had a big laceration on her head and she broke her collarbone too. But she's doing good now. She's 9. So yeah.
Could you remember anything like during the time? Like, could you hear what was going on, or did you understand what was going on, or do you remember?
No, I really don't remember too much of anything. I know I remember it was like being at the hospital. I can remember one day it was like black and white. I know I had these bars around my head. I'm like, am I in jet? Like that's what the way I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Why are these big bars around my head? And I seen black and white and people talking all around me. I guess the doctors but that's after that I didn't come to myself knowing what's kind of going on in a sense
Right,
until I went to rehab a month later. So
right.
other than that, I don't.
Can you tell the people one more time when this happened, so then the next question will make sense to them?
It happened 2016, September the 30th, 2016.
So this is happened in 2016, and this is 2023. But you are still dealing with different things from 2016. Like you're not completely at your best right now.
I I am in a sense, and then I'm not because it's more mental and emotional for me. If you get what I'm saying, the
Yeah.
physical part, that gets better over time. So I'm pretty okay with that. But like the mental and emotional part, it that affects me at times too.
Okay. Okay. So how was the healing process for you? Because I know once you came to, now you have to deal with, like, now you're in this bed, you know where you're at the hospital. So how did that healing process start for you?
It was rough because when I came to myself and realizing, where what was going on and people were telling me, like, I couldn't believe I couldn't walk. And I had this, as I said in the 700 Club, I had this big thing around my head. So I'm
Right.
just trying to figure out, like, what is going on? And is this really life now?
Mm,
I actually thought I could walk one night in rehab and fell out the bed and hit my head, hit the halo. Thank God for the halo, and went
right.
down. Tried to get up and go to the bathroom, and that's when it really got real. I'm like, okay, now I have to push and I have to get through this. So I can't just lay here because they told me the first 2 weeks of rehab, I just laid there. I wouldn't do anything. I didn't want nobody to come do anything for me, but I don't remember that. So when I
Right.
came to myself and realized what was going on, I pushed myself hard. Like I'm going to walk again. This is not the end for me.
Right. Did they tell you that you probably would not walk?
No, they never I don't think they ever told my parents that. They never told me that.
Right.
They said it'd be a process.
Mm,
I came home in a wheelchair, halo, trachea, feeding tube, the whole 9 yards in
mm.
November. I was driving 2 months later, by the end of January.
Wow, that's great. So you was
Yeah.
really pushing yourself. So you was able to get off the trachea, the feeding tube, and everything. How was that? Like watching your family, because they had to be the ones to take care of you. So mentally, you already going through something because it's like I got to be fed, I got to be clothed, somebody got to wash me up, all the stuff that I was already doing for myself, but now somebody
Yeah.
else got to do it for me. So how
Mhm.
was it watching your family, like go through that process with you?
It was rough in a sense, but I'm glad I went through it with my family because the doctors was talking about putting me into like a rehabilitation
Right.
place, kind of like a, rest home in a sense, kind of, or like a rehabilitation. But you got all types of people. There are older people, younger,
Right.
So that process, it made it easier that my grandmother, actually my dad mom, she stepped up and was like, no, she's not going there. I'm going to take care of her. So she
Right.
came to my house every day at 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, and took care of me until about 2, 3 o'clock. So she stepped up and was like, no, because my mom had to go back to work at
Right.
the time. And yeah, so she stepped up and took care of me.
What were your thoughts? Because did you remember that your daughter was in the car with you? Because I know
No,
as a mom, it's kind of like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, with my baby. So you didn't even remember that your daughter was in the car
n-
with you.
no, I didn't. They said that when I was in the hospital, I kept saying, "Where's my baby at?" But I kept saying my son. I didn't even remember her at first.
Mm,
Because they said I kept saying, "Where's my baby?" And I was talking about my son.
right.
So when I went to rehab, um, when I was coming around to myself, just trying to figure out everything that's going on, I asked him like, "Where's my daughter?"
Right.
She was in a car accident with me. Is she okay? Like the first thing in my head, like, did she die? You thinking it. I never said it out
Right.
loud, but
Right.
you want to know like what happened, and they was like, well, she's
Right.
okay. And they would bring her every single day to rehab to see me. And yeah,
Mm,
so it made it a lot easier too.
wow. How was your relationship during this time? Um, like I know you said prayers, so I know you believe in God. So how was your relationship with God? Like what did you feel towards God? Like this had happened to you, and like okay, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's next?
At first, as I said on the 700 Club, yeah, I questioned him a lot because I'm like, how could this happen to somebody like me? Like, I'm starting a career basically, and then this happens 2 years in. Like, I'm young, I'm grinding, and then this happened. My life turned all the way upside down. So at first, I couldn't figure it out. But
Mhm.
the closer that I got to God and started seeking him more, that's when he started showing me, like, you have a purpose here. That's why I kept you here. That's why I restored you almost 100%, but it's not quite there yet. And a lot
Right,
of people have to understand God is not going to restore you 100% too early, simply because he wants you to remember where he brought you from. So it's going to be a little at a time on the journey.
right,
So and I understand that, and that's where I'm at. Like, the relationship that I have with him is awesome. Like, that personal relationship, it means the world.
right, right. I remember like in the video because I thought I was like, man, I said to have to go through something like that, like to have everything basically, and then just in a moment it's gone. You know what I'm saying? And then you going into somebody taking care of you. Now you got to start all over again from where you were. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, we in 2023 now, and it was a process. And what career were you starting up? Like, what were you starting up in your life then versus now?
I had actually started at the prison. I was in operations at the prison, and was going to transition over to the federal. That was my plan.
Right.
But then this happened. So, and I was young. I started the career there. I was 21, 22. And then, like I said, this happened when I was 24. So I was like 2.5 years in or whatever.
Mhm.
2.5 years. So just imagine, like, everything going your way, just everything from finances to just your kids to your marriage. I'm like, I'm a newlywed, and
Oh wow.
just having the life that you always dreamed of, and then it just get, I'm not going to say snatched away, because God has a bigger
It's
plan,
a
and
purpose. Hmm.
my purpose is going to be fulfilled. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to fulfill my purpose on this earth. And we all have to realize that we all have a purpose. We just have to figure it out. Seek God and ask him what it is, and just walk in your purpose. Because
Mm.
you'll never be fulfilled with money and material things, cars and clothes and all that name brands. You'll never be fulfilled.
Tell
You will
them,
never be fulfilled. So,
tell them. So, how did your because you said you were newlywed, how was that for your husband? How did he say it was for you, seeing you go through all the different things, the different stages in life?
um, I think it was rough on him too at first. Like,
Hmm.
men hide their emotions
Right.
in different ways. So, a lot of people didn't like the way that he was kind of like hiding his emotions, and it's, I just don't even want to get into all that right now, but yeah, it was rough for us for a while. It
Right.
was rough because, like I said, it was a life-changing accident. It was life-changing.
Truly, truly, I can understand
So,
that. Definitely, you had to, like you had to regain your strength all over again. So you went from an adult to a baby, and then you went from a baby. Now you're going back to an adult again. So you've gone through the accident. You went through the healing process. Congratulations on driving that soon, because I probably would have been like, "Girl, no, you cannot drive." You know what I'm saying? Like, where you going?
mhm.
Where you going? It's too soon. Um, did you lose like memory? So when you're driving or when you're doing stuff, was it hard to remember like what am I supposed to be doing right here? Like where am I supposed to be going up? What?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was my fear when I started back driving. Like, the GPS was my best friend, because I had to learn everything all over again. I didn't know
Right.
nothing about nothing. And right after, when I was in rehab, I couldn't remember from day to day. I
Mm.
could not remember from day to day. And even now, sometimes when I'm in the middle of a conversation,
Right.
My brain kind of just like shuts down for a minute, then it loads back up, and I
Right.
forget. But then I don't want to look crazy, so I just keep on talking like, "Oh, okay, yeah." But I forgot all. But I don't tell people that often. But I'm like I
Right.
said, I'm transparent, so I'm like open now.
I'm glad that you're open like that because it's important, because people don't understand that when you go through things, even because that was trauma. You know what I'm saying? That was a beat up on your body, then a beat up on your mind. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? So you got two separate traumas that's going on there. So not remembering or losing track of a conversation is really easy. You know what I'm saying? Like things that seem simple to us are major to other people, especially when you go through things. So versus the accident, going through the healing process, when you came back out, you said, I'm coming back out, I'm fighting January, you driving again, you know what I'm saying? So what was your next step? Like what was your next goal? Because you seem like a fighter. So
Honestly, I did not know. I was just
okay.
living life. I'm like, God kept me here, and I'ma just do what it do. That's where I was for like a year and a half. I was confused. I was sometimes I'd be mad, then I'd be like, I gotta figure this out. I'm going back to work, but they won't let me go back to it. It was a lot. And then I just sat down one day, um, and I was on the couch and just sitting down and just talking to God. And he told me to get a pad and a pencil, pen, and I just wrote. He just told me to write, and I just started writing so much stuff out. And I looked at it, I'm like, how, that did not come from me. I didn't say all this stuff. That's how I knew it was him. And then I was in school, business school, and I was doing some research for a paper, and I think I ran across something that I needed to push me into my clothing brand that I have now. Well, it's
Right,
bigger than a brand, it's a demonstration of life. So my clothing line. But it pushed me into that. And I did, like, I looked into it, but I still was like stagnant with that. It wasn't, it was at a standstill. It was like my thoughts and ideas, but I didn't put them into play until 2 years ago. And that was when I had another knee surgery. I was in the bed and I'm like, you know what? Stuff got to change. Stuff got to change. Stuff is going good. You know what I'm saying? Stuff
right,
was going pretty good, but I'm like, no, I have a purpose. Like, I need to figure this out and figure out why God kept me here. And well, I knew why he kept me here, but I got to jump into my purpose. I had to walk into it
right,
because I wasn't at that time. But
right.
it's a beautiful thing. Like I said, when you do find your purpose, it's a beautiful thing.
So
And I
finding
love
your purpose is that part of your brand, like that's part of your clothing. So let's talk about that a little bit. So tell me about this brand because this brand is special,
it. It is.
very special. But I'm gonna let you tell them because I already was being nosy. But
Okay. It's called Canary Demonstration, y'all. Go support us, follow us. Um KE''NARI and demonstration. And it's just a life demonstration. The brand stands for a lot of things. It does. And it pushes people to be the better version of them. We want to help push people into their authentic selves. And when you
right,
wear this brand, you feel on top of the world because the purpose behind it, the meaning behind it.
right,
The canary came from me putting my kids' names together because I said when I was in the accident, I felt like I lost a lot of time with them mentally and emotionally. I
right,
wasn't there for them. But
right,
I was here physically, but I wasn't the same person anymore. So I'm
right,
like, whatever I do from here on out, my kids is going to be involved. We're going to do this together. We're going
right,
to walk this journey together. So I dedicated this to them, and I've always been into fashion. So what better time? Like I said, I sat down and God gave me the vision and he gave me the resources. They just came out of nowhere. I lie to you not. And that's how I knew this was part of my journey. And
right,
I do motivational speaking. I done been to several churches and just crossing over a little bit because it goes together. I've been
Okay.
to I've been to several churches. I did 2 big events, um, and slash life coach. I want to help people. I love people, and even though humans are, whew, Jesus, give me a headache sometimes. I be like, Lord, you kept me here for all of this, but it's part
Yes.
of my journey and part of my purpose. So, but it all goes into one. It's all in the one. My motivational speaker, my life coach is all into one with the brand. And like I said, it's bigger than us. What you're doing is bigger than you. What I'm doing is bigger than me. We have a purpose here. And like I said, it's bigger than us. So
Right.
when you walk into it, everything that you dream of and hope of is going to be fulfilled because it's your purpose, is what God put you on this earth for. So if
True.
everybody figured that out, then I mean this world would be a better place. I'm telling you. Instead of trying to mock what somebody else is doing, because when you do that, it fails every time. Then you on to the next venture, and then that fails because you're trying to do what somebody else doing instead of figuring out what you're good at and what's your craft
True.
and how you can make the world a better place.
True. I love it. I love it. I don't even know what to say except I love it. Can you tell people just like a little bit of what the brand is about, like what it represents?
Okay, so Canary demonstration. Like I said, I put my kids' names together, and um, really, it's a demonstration of life. It is like I said before, it's for you to walk into your authentic self. It's a brand. It's an all around brand. Like we just want to show love and in every type of way we can, and that's what the brand represents: love, joy, happiness, peace, everything that to be successful in life.
Right.
And that's what we're here for, to just bring people up and push them into their authentic self and to their purpose, to help them walk into it.
And so you all do, and your phone is just a little bit muffled. It may just be the way you're holding it because it was fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that's all right. So you do shirts. You do what else do you do?
What did you say? I'm sorry, it did go in and
Oh,
out.
you have shirts, and what else do you have?
Okay, so we have well, I don't want to get into it with my old manufacturer, but yeah, I went through some stuff with my last one. As you know, you're gonna go through so many different
Business.
obstacles on this
Mhm.
journey.
It's
And so
business,
I
right?
had to go into another direction. And so I was supposed to drop a line back in December, but some stuff happened. So I had to basically start over in a sense.
Okay.
But I have some stuff coming, and it's men's. We do men's, women, kids, and babies. And we
Okay.
have active wear. We're gonna have denim. Working on backpacks right now. It's just like a regular brand. All of the
Right.
above. I do have shoes, but I haven't put them out yet because I'm still working on that. But we're gonna have a lot of different things
Okay. So you're gonna have like an all around
all
everything that
around.
you need is right
One
there.
stop shop. One
One
stop
stop
shop. That's
shop.
what it's
Okay,
gonna
I
be.
love that.
That's what it's gonna be
I
when we
love
get
that.
finished with it. But it do take time, and I want people to realize that people think
Mhm.
that business happens over, like success happens overnight. It doesn't. And I had to realize that when I got into it, that's when I'm like, oh, this takes hard work and dedication and motivation and consistency, all of the above. You have to do all of them and put them all into one,
Right.
because if not, you're going to fail. You can't do it when you feel like it. And that was me for like the first year. I was on it and then I was off it and I was on it, I was off it. And then, but I had to realize, like, no, you're never going to make it. You're never going to see.
True.
So you have to stay consistent. And so that's what I do. Stay consistent, and I self motivate. I motivate myself every day, because guess what? Ain't nobody going to do it like you.
You better tell them. I know
I'm
they
just
get.
saying.
I know people get tired of my mouth running about when it comes to business. Like you say, you had to start over again because we do invest. When you have a business, you're investing into it, and sometimes you don't make the right investments with the right people. Let me just say that you don't make the right investments with the right
Investment.
people.
That's right. You
And
said it right.
so we lose. You know what I'm saying? And then we have to go back to the drawing board, and we have to do. And business is about consistency. It's about dedication. It's about doing something when you don't feel like doing it.
When you
You know,
don't
like
feel
today,
like.
I could have took a nap longer than the others planned, but I know I have stuff to do. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But at the same time, it's business, and
Yeah.
it gets easier, and you learn more and more and more over the years. Um, so that's definitely, but that's big. So other than the clothing line, you have the clothing line going on. You're doing your motivational speaking. You're doing your coaching. You got a lot of stuff going on. You know,
I have to. God kept me here for what? I'm gonna waste it?
that's
No, I
right.
can't do that. I
That's
cannot.
right.
Like, man, that man kept me here. My doctors, some of my doctors was still like, they still be like at an all time wow, like, because how I came out is a lot of people that have accidents like me and stuff, but
Right.
you're gonna know that something is wrong with them. But when you look at me and talk to me, you won't know unless I tell you. And that's how you know that's the power of God. It's not me, it's him.
I like it. I love your spirit. I love your spirit when you first got on the show. That's why I was like, "Are you nervous? Don't do
Oh,
that."
thank
Just
you.
chill. You know, like it's a relaxed setting. You
Yeah.
can. It's your time. So, is there anything else you have going on that you want to share with the people? You want to connect with them about something that you gonna venture into soon, and you haven't ventured into it yet.
Well, I have some stuff up my sleeve. I don't want to quite say yet, but y'all just be waiting on it. We got some stuff going on. That I kind of, and I know it won't nothing but God again, that keep giving me these witty inventions and these ideas, and I know it's gonna be successful, but it takes time. It
It's
takes time, and I want people to know you're gonna fail more than one time. It's not gonna happen. Like I said, success doesn't happen overnight. You're gonna have to go to that drawing board so many times. You're gonna want to give up, but if you stay down, and if this is your baby and you stay down with it, then you're going to get to success. But a lot of people give up after the first time of something not going their way.
mm-hmm.
But that's how you know if somebody's really walking into their purpose, because if this is your purpose, you won't give up for nothing. Like, you're not going to stop. You're
It
going to keep
doesn't
running
matter.
to the end.
It doesn't
And
matter.
I realize now it's only like the world is billions of people in the world, right? But only 1% become successful. And I think it's about 1%. And you know why? And that's a lot of people though, but it's millions,
It's a lot of
billions of
people.
people in the
It's
world.
millions of people in the
Yeah,
world.
but
You're absolutely right.
that
That's
1% isn't a lot. It's not a lot though for all the people that's in the world.
truth.
But I said all that to say, don't give up. I said all that to say, don't give up, because it's not many people that make it to success.
Truth.
A lot of people are out here maintaining. We don't supposed to be on this earth maintaining. We supposed to be living. It's not many people out here living at all. We're all
Truth.
out here maintaining for the next day, for
Mm-hmm.
the next hour. People are out here maintaining. We're supposed to be living. And I'm telling you, I'm not even gonna tell you no story. I've been living my life since my accident. Now I done made a lot of. I don't, let's rewind back a little bit. I'm not perfect. That's another thing. I'm not perfect. I make so many mistakes, and I'm gonna make so many more.
Truth.
And I'm human. And guess what? God gonna still pick me up and uplift me and love me anyway. And I'm gonna keep it on moving. That's what people gotta realize. Stop looking for the acceptance of human beings. We don't need their acceptance. All you need is you and God. That's the only acceptance that you need. Because if you got to look for acceptance from people, man, you're gonna be out here working so hard and doing stuff that you don't want to do just so you can get things that you really don't even want. You just see other people with it and you like, okay, well, I got to do that too. No, man, stay in your own lane. When you in tunnel vision and you stay in your own lane, you don't have to worry about nothing else because you're not going to see nothing else. You're only going to see your journey and your path, and that's going to push you even further because you're not worried about what's on the left or what's on the right of you.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all to it. So
Tunnel
that's
vision.
what I do.
Tunnel vision. I mean, I don't know what else to say except for like I really appreciate you. I feel like you my sister now because you done said everything I say all the time to people. So they get to hear it from somebody else and they don't feel like it's just me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
just me saying
Hmm.
whatever. You know, because I'm like you. I'm gonna
Yeah.
live my life. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go somewhere at the spare of a
Hmm.
moment. I'm gonna be like, I'm out of here, and I'm not gonna just maintain. That's not what I see for my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%. I'm not just gonna be maintaining. We gonna live and we're gonna live in freedom and peace. And we're gonna hang
Live it
out
to the.
like everybody else do and enjoy
Yeah.
life just like everybody else do. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely with it. So tell the people where they can find you, especially if they wanna order, a shirt or order something from your brand, or want you to come and speak.
Okay. So you can find me at well on our social medias. We have Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And it's Kenari Demonstration, everything lowercase KENARI demonstration DEMONSTRATION. I just spelled it out for y'all. But it's Kenari Demonstration. And also I just launched my website last month, and y'all just I'm super excited about that because I've been working on that website for a year. Do you hear me? The back and forth and all the issues I ran into. Whew, so glad we finally got it done. But you can go to our website. It's Canary Demonstration.co, and it's lowercase as well. Not .com, .co. And this is I'm wearing our signature shirts, and they're like, people love them. They sell out really fast because the quality is great. Um, it don't shrink, don't fade. The shirts is just the brand is just awesome. Like the quality is everything, and to me, and I just love my brand. It's my baby.
Was definitely that. And so I do something on the show where I ask people to, and you left with so many positive nuggets. If they ain't getting nothing out of this show with you, they got positivity. You understand what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
definitely leave the people with something for them to carry on into their rest of their week.
Stay consistent. I can't say that enough. Stay self motivated. Stay determined. Strive for better. Don't settle. And this is for everybody. Do not settle. Because we tend to settle and get complacent and just are okay with where we at. Maintaining. Let's live, y'all. Let's live and bring each other up as the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these other cultures, they might not get along, but guess what? They got each other back when it comes to these businesses, and they ain't gonna let us get ahead of them. So why are we keep on wasting our money with them on their things when we can be having the same exact thing? Let's bring each other up. This ain't a competition. We're all one. We're a whole. Believe it or not, we are a whole. Let's bring each other up. There's not a competition and it's not a race.
Right,
This is a marathon. What Nipsey Hussle say? This is a marathon.
right, right. Well, I appreciate that. I'm so glad they got to hear somebody else say it, and it's not me. So then they can't say, "Oh, Lasha always talking about that stuff." But it's right. It's the truth. It's honest. It's pure. So
Yes.
again, y'all, this is Miss Lakeisha Day. Y'all get with her. I'm gonna turn your mic off real quick. Y'all get with her for her brand. I'm gonna post a story when I later on tonight, so then y'all can see the story. Y'all can see the video, the same video I got to see before she came on to the show. But definitely, definitely get with her. I don't even know what to say because she's been so wonderful since she's been on the show. Since the moment I met her, she's been real wonderful, very positive, very uplifting. So continue to reach out with us. Um, y'all know, like, share, subscribe. I keep forgetting that, and they keep telling me I have to tell y'all that. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Do that. And then she got one more thing she want to say.
Yes, and I want to shout my manager out. He's hard working. He's dedicated, and yeah, he got to have you got to be strong to work with somebody like me because I'm particular about every single thing, very particular, and I like things a certain way. But I want to shout my manager out, Mr. Benjamin Ford. He's awesome, and I just want to thank you for all that you do and dealing with me.
Oh, Mr. Benjamin on target though, because I was texting him and he was texting me back, and I go fast. You know what I'm saying? Like I know I'm like boom, 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 boom some days.
Yeah,
So, but he did not get frustrated with me, which I was happy because sometimes people get frustrated with me because I'm just a mover.
yeah.
So shout out to Mr. Benjamin. You did your thing. Thank you for allowing her to be on the show, and thank you for being on the show, Miss Lakeisha. Now we're gonna
And
switch out. Oh, go ahead.
one more thing, I'm sorry. And then I want to shout out all of my team members. They know who they are. I love you. Thank you for all the support and everything that you all do.
Definitely. That's why I told you get on here and tell your people so they know because they're gonna be like, "How you been on the show? You ain't talk about us. Like how you
Yes,
did
I
that?
love my team. They awesome.
How you did that?" So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all as usual. Y'all know that. And we gonna get off this thing. Miss Lakeisha, stay on so when we go backstage. But
Okay.
I love y'all and good night, everybody.
Bye, y'all.